Hello, truth seekers. Welcome to Cruise TV, your #1 YouTube channel that provides you with facts, with zero to very minimal errors. Truth seekers. Think of the last time you ran into someone you find attractive. You may have stammered, your palms may have sweated, you may have said something incredibly asinine and tripped spectacularly while trying to saunter away, or is that just me? And chances are, your heart was thudding in your chest. It's no surprise that, for centuries, people thought love, and most other emotions, for that matter, arose from the heart. As it turns out, love is all about the brain, which, in turn, makes the rest of your body go haywire. Lust is driven by the desire for sexual gratification. The evolutionary basis for this stems from our need to reproduce, a need shared among all living things. Through reproduction, organisms pass on their genes and thus contribute to the perpetuation of their species. The hypothalamus of the brain plays a big role in this, stimulating the production of the sex hormones testosterone and estrogen from the testes and ovaries. While these chemicals are often stereotyped as being male and female, respectively, both play a role in men and women. As it turns out, testosterone increases libido in just about everyone. The effects are less pronounced with estrogen, but some women report being more sexually motivated around the time they ovulate when estrogen levels are highest. Meanwhile, the attraction seems to be a distinct, though closely related, phenomenon. While we can certainly lust for someone we are attracted to, and vice versa, one can happen without the other. Attraction involves the brain pathways that control, reward, behavior, which partly explains why the first few weeks or months of a relationship can be so exhilarating and even all-consuming. Dopamine, produced by the hypothalamus, is a particularly well-publicized player in the brain's reward pathway. It's released when we do things that feel good to us. In this case, these things include spending time with loved ones and having sex. High levels of dopamine and a related hormone, norepinephrine, are released during attraction. These chemicals make us giddy, energetic, and euphoric, even leading to decreased appetite and insomnia, which means you actually can be so in love that you can't eat and can't sleep. In fact, norepinephrine, also known as noradrenaline, may sound familiar because it plays a large role in the fight or flight response, which kicks into high gear when we're stressed and keeps us alert. Brain scans of people in love have actually shown that the primary reward centers of the brain, including the ventral tegmental area and the caudate nucleus, fire like crazy when people are shown a photo of someone they are intensely attracted to, compared to when they are shown someone they feel neutral towards, like an old high school acquaintance. Finally, the attraction seems to lead to a reduction in serotonin, a hormone that's known to be involved in appetite and mood. Interestingly, people who suffer from the obsessive-compulsive disorder also have low levels of serotonin, leading scientists to speculate that this is what underlies the overpowering infatuation that characterizes the beginning stages of love. Last but not least, attachment is the predominant factor in long-term relationships. While lust and attraction are pretty much exclusive to romantic entanglements, attachment mediates friendships, parent-infant bonding, social cordiality, and many other intimacies as well. The two primary hormones here appear to be oxytocin and vasopressin. Oxytocin is often nicknamed cuddle hormone for this reason. Like dopamine, oxytocin is produced by the hypothalamus and released in large quantities during sex, breastfeeding, and childbirth. This may seem like a very strange assortment of activities, not all of which are necessarily enjoyable, but the common factor here is that all of these events are precursors to bonding. It also makes it pretty clear why having separate areas for attachment, lust, and attraction is important. We are attached to our immediate family, but those other emotions have no business there, and let's just say people who have muddled this up don't have the best track record. This all paints quite the rosy picture of love. Hormones are released, making us feel good, rewarded, and close to our romantic partners. But that can't be the whole story. Love is often accompanied by jealousy, erratic behavior, and irrationality, along with a host of other less than positive emotions and moods. It seems that our friendly cohort of hormones is also responsible for the downsides of love. Dopamine, for instance, is the hormone responsible for the vast majority of the brain's reward pathway, and that means controlling both the good and the bad. We experience surges of dopamine for our virtues and our vices. In fact, the dopamine pathway is particularly well studied when it comes to addiction. The same regions that light up when we're feeling attraction light up when drug addicts take cocaine and when we binge eat sweets. For example, cocaine maintains dopamine signaling for much longer than usual, leading to a temporary high. In a way, attraction is much like an addiction to another human being. Similarly, the same brain regions light up when we become addicted to material goods as when we become emotionally dependent on our partners. And addicts going into withdrawal are not unlike love-struck people craving the company of someone they cannot see. The story is somewhat similar to oxytocin. Too much of a good thing can be bad. Recent studies on party drugs such as MDMA and GHB show that oxytocin may be the hormone behind the feel-good, sociable effects these chemicals produce. These positive feelings are taken to an extreme in this case, causing the user to dissociate from his or her environment and act wildly and recklessly. Furthermore, oxytocin's role as a bonding hormone appears to help reinforce the positive feelings we already feel towards the people we love. That is, as we become more attached to our families, friends, and significant others, oxytocin is working in the background, reminding us why we like these people and increasing our affection for them. While this may be a good thing for monogamy, such associations are not always positive. For example, oxytocin has also been suggested to play a role in ethnocentrism, increasing our love for people in our already established cultural groups and making those unlike us seem more foreign. Thus, like dopamine, oxytocin can be a bit of a double-edged sword. And finally, what would love to be without embarrassment? Sexual arousal, but not necessarily attachment, appears to turn off regions in our brain that regulate critical thinking, self-awareness, and rational behavior, including parts of the prefrontal cortex. In short, love makes us dumb. Have you ever done something when you were in love that you later regretted? Maybe not. I'd ask a certain star-crossed Shakespearean couple, but it's a little late for them. So, in short, there is sort of a formula for love. However, it's a work in progress, and there are many questions left unanswered. And, as we've realized by now, it's not just the hormone side of the equation that's complicated. Love can be both the best and worst thing for you. It can be the thing that gets us up in the morning, or what makes us never want to wake up again. I'm not sure I could define love for you if I kept you here for another 10,000 pages. In the end, everyone is capable of defining love for themselves. And, for better or for worse, if it's all hormones, maybe each of us can have chemistry with just about anyone. But whether or not it goes further is still up to the rest of you. Truth seekers, subscribe for more content like this weekly and don't forget to turn on the notification for daily fact video.